Hello and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savita Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high achieving 9 to 5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hey everyone, and welcome to the podcast. This is the first solo for this year, and the topic that is foremost on my mind as we ease into 2022 with everything that is, of course, going on is the topic of toxicity. This is something that not just at the beginning of the year, but through the year, I take the time to evaluate and curate things that I'm reading, listening, watching, people that I'm surrounded by, habits, routines that I am inculcating in my life or following in my life, and mostly the type of conversations as well that I am having. So curation is important to me because it allows me to really edit out only that which brings me joy and that makes me feel satisfied and fulfilled with my life. Having said that, today's topic is about how to reduce toxicity, because this is an exercise that I like to do every year. And usually the beginning of the year is a great time to reset where you're at, and also a good way to kind of jump off those groups that are no longer serving you, WhatsApp groups, social media groups that are no longer serving you. Everybody understands when you're trying to detox or reset and make a change in your life. On the topic of how to reduce toxicity, this is what I thought I wanted to share with you, my audience. And I'm going to share some things that have worked for me and hopefully will work for you as well if this is something that you struggle with. There are toxic people in your life, or you are in a toxic situation and you don't know how to deal with it or how to move forward with it. Number one, look at everything that you're doing, and I'm talking about what you watch, what you read, what you listen to, what you absorb, what you're learning, who you're surrounded by, the conversations that you're having, what you're reading, the places that you're going, and your environment. And this is really important for you to have a look at all of this and really take stock of what are those things in your life and all these things that you're doing that is having a negative impact on your mindset, negative impact on your health, negative impact on your mental health, and also a negative impact on your relationship and work ethic. Once you make this list, or once you kind of go through this list or audit yourself on all of these areas, you will be able to identify those things that are no longer serving you and those that you've always known that you just need to stop doing. It could be just as simple as watching a particular program that every day you listen to it and there's a lot of toxic stuff or negative stuff being spewed forth on it. And you've always known that it isn't serving you in any way. And if you need time to stop doing it, this is a great time. Beginning of the year is a great time to go ahead and curate it. So my number one rule is begin by auditing all of these areas. Make a list of things that you've got to stop doing or are no longer serving you in any way, and you've got to let go of, and curate it. So curate who you hang out with. What I'm not saying is not to like cut them out of your life. There is an option where you, when it's really bad, you need to cut people out of your life or stop doing something completely. But is there a way to reduce it, especially where people are concerned? Is there a way to reduce interaction? That would rather be the first step than ghosting them. Okay, so curation, audit and curation is really key. Having that list and knowing, because what you're aware of you can reduce, what you're not aware of you don't even know where to start. All you feel is anxious and overwhelmed at the end of it. Once you do that, the next thing that I want you to evaluate is to look at the conversations that you are having, right? It also begins with us. We may not control other people, but what we do, we can control. So take a look at your daily conversations with yourself, co-workers, family, friends, even strangers. What are the topics you dive into? What are these idle chats, small talk? Are they deep confessions? What type of conversations are they, and what do you usually slip into in your conversations with people? And when you speak, are you speaking positively about yourself and others, or are you falling into this trap of inner monologues or gossip? So much toxicity is removed from our lives when we acknowledge the kinds of conversations we are having. When we note that something is going in a negative direction, example, complaining, talking down to ourselves, gossiping, our best and foolproof solution is to just stop. Stop right there in that moment. Stop saying hurtful things. Stop overthinking. Stop talking about people to just talk. When we note and halt our toxic conversations, we make room for more positivity, healing, and growth within our personal relationships. And you will find that when you're not having those conversations, you're actually having really meaningful conversations. And this is helping you invest in this relationship with this person and help that develop in a way that is meaningful and that is joyful to you in the long run. Step 3 is to begin by looking within yourself. Ask yourself this question: am I the toxic person? Sometimes it could be us. It may not necessarily be the other person. Think about the aura you present to the world, the way you interact with others, the environments you find yourself in, the words that come out of your mouth, the actions that you present. Are all of these things aligned to the person you want to be and become? Are you treating other people with kindness and respect? Are you giving your best self to the things and people in your life? Are you happy? And don't worry, you're not expected to be perfect and positive all the time, but sometimes the best way to remove toxicity is to look within and see if perhaps you're the one causing it to manifest. If you find that you're the one complaining, talking bad about others, getting caught up in abusive relationships, chasing the wrong things, then empower yourself to change that behavior. Empower yourself to be simply better than you were yesterday, and then continue each day with that mindset until you feel renewed. Now, this is easier said than done. And my tools for doing this is again, what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Change that to help you, to something that will help you grow. What are you reading? Use books to help you. Use podcasts to help you. Surround yourself with the right people. Go take a course, go take a class, because what you focus on, you can improve. Okay, so if you've now become aware and you want to change this, if you can focus on improving that, there's no other way but to improve in that area, because you are committed to improving. And that can mean just 5 minutes that you're investing in changing this, just catching yourself when you have those thoughts. That's what we mean by trying to empower yourself to feel better than yesterday. Okay, to simply show up better than the day before. That's my third tip to look at toxicity in your life and to reduce it. Finally, relationships. I've kind of kept relationships to the end, because they're the hardest to rid of toxicity. However, you stand a better chance of tackling them head on if the rest of your life is in balance. Toxic relationships can come in the form of an ex-partner, friendship, or even a family member. They are easily recognizable as those people who distract you from a positive mindset or stand in the way of positive habits. They're often making you feel guilty or ashamed for having an interest in something they don't, causing confrontations, or making you feel like you're putting in a lot of effort without receiving any support or happiness in return. One of the most important things to remember when removing toxic people from your life is that ghosting them is not okay. It stands to hurt both of you, right? You and the other person. Begin by setting boundaries within the relationship. Communicate your intentions clearly to the toxic person that this is not okay and we need to do better, right? Both of us need to do better. And I would like you to not treat, point out, have a talk with them, point out what is it that you find hurtful, or what about their behavior is the reason for you to feel bad about yourself, have mental health issues, just not create a good situation for both of you. And this could be even a relationship, a marriage, your partner. have the conversation. But if you're at a place where the other person is not ready to even listen to you, then you want to have really strong boundaries and stick by it, okay? And finally, if the best of your intentions don't work, the other person doesn't seem to respect your boundaries, you need to be firm about enforcing them, of course. You need to then let them know that you no longer want to engage with them. And that's when you probably end up either blocking them on social media, cutting them out of your life, and reducing any interaction. So there are no triggers. Now, what do you do if this is someone that you can't cut out of your life because, let's say, they are family? Then the best bet is for you to really find common ground, in the sense that there has to be a place where you meet. First, number one, of course, reducing the triggers, reducing the interaction to the lowest level possible. And then when you do meet, see how much you can tolerate. Maybe you can only tolerate 10 minutes before it starts blowing up for you. So know what that threshold is. And then meet in a place where you can actually leave if things start to get bad. Right? So those are things that you can put in place. More on this when I think I'll do a separate episode on how to deal with this if it is family. And once you cut the communication, make sure that you allow yourself to move on in a productive and positive way in your relationships. And finally, as we come to the end of this episode, I do want to talk about letting go. This is easier said than done. It's as hard as, letting go of toxic relationships. That may be even more easier, but letting go is harder because toxicity is removed when you accept that there are things, people, moments, circumstances, situations, relationships that you cannot control. And this is okay. Come to terms with the fact that you don't control the universe and it's not up to you. But understand that your central role understand that come to terms with the fact that you don't control everything in the universe or most things in the universe or almost nothing in the universe, but understand your central role in what happens to you. Know that you can't change people or fate, but that you can change how you react to situations, how you move forward, and most importantly, how you can let go. In order to grow, oftentimes you have to let go of the painful, of the things that are building, of the painful, of the things that aren't building you, of the people and environments that are holding you back. Let go of what you can't change, you can't fix, you can't save, and make room for ways you can become a better version of yourself by focusing your attention on other things, on things that are really in your control. The process of letting go is not easy, but it is extremely rewarding. When you let go, you choose to remove both toxicity and you choose to heal. On that note, thank you for listening to this topic on letting go of toxicity in your life. I wish you a great 2022 ahead, and I hope you have a lot of success in letting go of things that are no longer, things, people, places that are no longer serving you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavita.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram at Success with Savita and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.